to Heroes Lounge channel number 2. We have the first quarterfinals of the day for you, or the second. There are two happening at the same time, I guess. Between Turtle Team and Sloth Sanctuary. And the first map is going to be Towers of Doom after almost all of the most common season maps have been banned. We are not going to see Dragonshire, Infernal Shrines, Battlefield of Eternity, or Volskaya Foundry in this quarterfinals, but everything else is still open.
So yeah.
Yeah.
This is already doing great, as you might have noticed. I'm Yosh, I'm co-casting here today. You can call me Deep Thought, because with me I have the answer. It's FortyTwo on the main cast position. And yeah, the teams are getting ready, the casters are getting ready, the chat is... I don't know, chat, how are you today? And yeah, let's see.
I'll open the chat.
Will turn out for us.
Hello, chat. We already see fans of both teams. I guess players of both teams.
Players of both teams.
I mean, it's good to see that they are their own fans, right?
Well, I would rather much see them in game.
Yeah, but still. Let's hope for a good series, yeah? I want to see 3 maps.
I want to see 6, because if we see 3 maps in 2 matches, something has gone wrong.
I mean, in the quarterfinal, in the first quarterfinal we are going to be casting here, I want to see 3 maps. Let's see about the next one. These two teams haven't met this season because one of them is from Division 5 and the other one's from Division 4. So we don't have any recent results between the two.
So technically, Sloth Sanctuary should win.
Okay, I can't. You need to do the the bans because I can't see a thing. Let me just show you.
Congratulations! Have you tried not playing quick match while we cast? So yeah, Sloth Sanctuary.
Not my fault.
You're just following orders. Sloth Sanctuary do come here with the first pick, which does mean that they get first ban as well. Now, Turtle Team are very proficient with an ETC, which is both their most picked hero and both the heroes that they are doing well against. But our first ban will be Greymane for now. Pretty solid ADC. The doggo is quite good in the fights, which Towers of Doom does tend to have a lot of those. Sylvanas is gonna be the return ban from Turtle Team. I don't know, Greymane is not that high on the priorities of the left side, as it is actually much more prominent in the drafts of Sloth Sanctuary, being picked 12 times over the season, so they kinda have shot themselves in the foot there. The second bans will be Ana and the Zul, brought to prominence really by Sloth highlights yesterday. Another Sloth team, who would have thought in their pretty dominating performance in the Rare Cup brackets. Ana is just a pretty solid ban. Ana is a thing that has been banned against our Turtle Team, and our first pick is gonna be the ETC, taking it away from the sea animals. I don't know, can you see the draft, or do I just quantity cast throughout this entire thing?
I'm afraid you need to do the whole thing, because I've just shown team. I still see kind of a quick match preparation thing, but without a chat or anything.
So
okay.
Yeah,
I have a different source now.
FortyTwo is gonna join us for game 2, Kappa.
No, I am being helped by a helpful Samu right now. I am in, I guess.
Yeah, we're being helped by someone production, which is probably a thing you did not need to know, but I guess I'll give him a shout out now before we shit talk him later. Oh, I wasn't supposed
Ming
to
and
say that.
are here.
Yeah, Ming and Malfurion, and the Kelthas and the Johanna. Some pretty solid bands. Pretty solid picks. I have seen them a lot.
Yeah, Malfurion is next to Rega the most common healer on the side of Sloth Sanctuary. So they have gotten their comfort pick there.
And Sonya was one of their most picked heroes as
Yes,
well, now with that
true.
offlaner out of the cards. And Zertle being a banned from Sloth Sanctuary. Let me find some stats on Turtle Team and Zertle because that seems spicy. No, they have actually only got one game on the Protoss, which was a loss. So
I expect Anduin here as a healer for Turtle Team because that's what they. Oh no, not. But that's what they did most of the time last season.
well, it's gonna be the Rega, and I don't know. Rega is a weird hero. I don't think he does enough to justify picking him over Anduin, but everyone likes him, so I guess I'm incorrect. Like
If map
most
1
of
is
the
gonna
time.
get really weird already, there could still be an Anduin and Rega could be the offlaner.
Oh, spicy stuff is what I'm here for. But so far we only see the Malthael and Falstad in that direction, as Sloth Sanctuary are gonna bust out Malthael with his potential to double soak and with Falstad to potentially help with that. Should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of lane pressure on the side of Sloth Sanctuary, but still both of those heroes are really useful in team fights as well. So really flexible team on the right side. And Deaka is gonna be the last pick for Turtle Team. So Rega not on the offlane, but as a main solo heal, and Deaka is gonna take care of the third lane.
Also, not to forget, both of those are globals. Both Dihaka and Falstad can join the team if a fight happens. Falstad can even join an offlane if the fight happens and he is in the format. But Dihaka is not that easy to kill in my opinion, so I don't think that will be the direction this play will go. So yeah, Towers of Doom. Map that's notorious for not being able to lose on while you don't make any mistakes. Which
Yeah. Yeah, it's going
best
to be down to which team doesn't has an error in their setup first. Yeah.
so yeah, which draft do you prefer? Cause I don't
Um,
know, it's weird for me. Like
I think on the level of play that I'm expecting, Li Ming has would have should have more impact than Kerthas on the mage position.
mhm.
Um, I'm not sure what's going on the offlane side on the right side. Probably you're right that Falstad's going to be offlaning because he has the global, but still Malthael is then on the position of Reina, kind of in the team fight, and I think that the team fight, the raw team fight potential on the left side on Turtle Team is a little higher for the 4-man. Um, but I think they can still make it work on the side of Sloth Sanctuary. So I'm going to give a slight edge to Turtle Team based on the picks and bans. But this still could go either way.
Yeah, I also think that I would give a slight preference to Turtle Team just based off the fact that their setup is a bit more common, is a bit more classic, shall I say, than what Sloth Sanctuary have brought in. But yeah, we are in the game, and on the left side we have Turtle Team featuring Ankara on the Haka, Sparda on Johanna, Enteb on Raynor, Hyan on Rega, and Blind Turtle playing the Kelthas. On
On
the
the right side. On the right side, we have Tiny Owl on Malfurion. We have Minty playing Falstad, Typhoon Hawk on ETC, Paradox on Malthael, and Pitor playing Li Ming.
so yeah,
Good luck, have fun all. Let's see where this goes.
as you might have seen, we have obviously rehearsed for all of this, and we have obviously have been preparing for it this entire month. So let's see this cast not turn into a train wreck, as the teams are already fighting in the mid lane. Nothing gained, nothing lost. And the Haka is already moving to the offlane with Malthael joining him in a moment.
So Malthel is joining the offlane. No false start as we expected from the picks.
I mean, Malthel is a pretty solid pick on Towers of Doom, mainly
Watch
because...
GTC here. There was one.
Mainly because Malthel is able to double soak. He is able to get experience from both top and mid lane and to allow his team to farm in bot lane. Turns out the Haka also has that to some capacity, as the offlaners will just run after each other, collecting all of the experience from the top side of the map, while the teams below take their camps. Turtle team being slightly faster and trying to invade. I'm sorry.
You've gone.
So yeah, the engage from Johanna right on the point. Typhoon Hawk is understanding that they are a bit weaker in early, with the Haka used his global to join in and secure the early camp.
But
so yeah,
there's going to be some experience lost on the top lane in exchange for this. Because the Haka couldn't soak while Malthel was doing that.
I think that taking an extra camp, which both takes user camp, and it also gained full value by getting into the wall immediately and denying your opponents a camp, which would have bounced against yours, is providing Turtle Team with slightly more value than they gained from losing a wave. But yeah, here is the other thing that I wanted to mention. Malthel is pretty good at double soaking, but he does not have a global like the Haka does, so that allowed Turtle Team to join in S5 on the camp and take it away from our unofficial moderator team.
Yeah.
Unofficial staff team? I don't know.
Yeah, of course, lots and lots of names on that team that you know if you've been watching the Discord ever. Many important people. Be nice to them. Yeah, the bottom looks as if Turtle Team is going to be, easily collecting that shine, and they also get the ETC kill for it. So they basically won with 3 people while one was collecting.
Turtle Team ahead in the game, which head in the kills. I'm actually pretty interested to see how the game will change after level 10. Also, I'm really interested to see where Falstad will take his bribes, because bribes on level 1 does lose some value when you're not going around the lanes just collecting all of the stacks. But it is still a passive benefit which you can potentially turn into something good for you. What I'm imagining is Falstad trying to go top lane, flying top lane, moving top lane after a back, something like that, and just bribing the top camp, because camps in the bot lane are taken on cooldown by Turtle Team and by Sloth.
The right camp is respawning now as well. If Turtle Team can secure a kill here, they might steal this camp again, but this time the team fight looks for a short while it looked better than last time for Sloth Sanctuary. This time they again lose a player, and they will lose the camp again.
Is enough for the Kel'Thas to pick up a kill with his Q. So yeah, so far Kel'Thas proving himself to be slightly better than the Li Ming in terms of finding kills, but in terms of damage, Li Ming is actually ahead by 4k.
There is a lot of enable for Kel'Thas's damage on this side of Turtle Team. If you look at the Johanna, who can pull people together just to make the living bomb spread better. She also has the lightning shield by Rega on her all the time, so she alone can do a lot of damage and cause a lot of chaos on the side of Sloth Sanctuary.
Samo bringing up a pretty good point in the chat. The Haka is the best hero in the game, in an opinion of a certain production member. Which does work for Turtle Team pretty well in securing that objective, putting them to 36 against 28 of their opponents.
And a quick look on the mid lane.
Early game and More importantly, getting close to secure that bot lane
Yeah.
tower, which is
Yeah, in the meta of this map, the bot lane tower is most of the time the first one that's going to be contested, and the team that can take the opponent's bottom tower first and hold it for as long as possible gains a strong advantage, because you can bind the entirety of your opponent team there, and then start roaming the map, pressuring the mid one, yeah, spiral your opponents out of control.
There's
But
also pretty important positional point, interrupting their access to the bottom altar. Also kind of disrupting their access to the mid capture point, but slightly less. And both of the camps are bot. This engagement Johanna is not going that well, as Sloth Sanctuary are gonna drop the charges.
An interesting result of having Malthael against Dehaka on the offlane is that Dehaka, who leaves the offlane quite often to join into teamfights, is dropping some experience. He has 3k experience less than Malthael has, which gives Sloth Sanctuary a little bit of an advantage right now. And they also claim the bottom left camp, doing a bit of damage to the walls of the blue bottom tower. So, nothing's lost yet. Yeah.
For Minty coming out pretty
And
successfully.
the first ultimate fight, everyone pressing R right now, pretty much. At least on the side of Turtle Team, everyone used the ults at the same time. All on cooldown.
You see less people pressed R on the side of Sloth Sanctuary, and it costed them the Malthael. Let's see how they will be able to regroup and get something in with the 2 Rs that they have remaining, which are Mosh Pit and Wave of Force. The Gust was just used.
They only used the Gust just to push their opponents back from their shrine. Now they get the fast kill. So yeah. Good comeback in this teamfight. Dehaka under pressure here. Will he survive? Yeah, 200 HP is enough for him. He gets out.
And Sloth Sanctuary still having the Mosh Pit, as we have seen. Mosh Pit cannot just be used as a teamfight turn-in ultimate, which just stuns the entirety of the enemy team. It can also be used as distraction. It can also be used as just a way to bait out an interrupt from your opponents, which is slightly less important for Sloth Sanctuary. But as the ultimates do come off cooldown for both sides, I am interested to see what this potential fight will bring, as we do have
another 4-on-4 here.
At engaging, Kalthas gets caught out, presses his mana addict,
Phoenix used, people pulled back into the Phoenix, and the Blessed Shield in the Phoenix gets 2 kills for Turtle Team. Both Li-Ming and Mafrion lose their lives. And I am pretty sure this bottom tower is going to die now.
Did Phoenix do that much damage all by itself? Because holy heck, that
no, it didn't. It didn't really. It caused a bit of chaos, and he also used his Flame Strike in the Phoenix. And I guess there was some living bomb involved as well, so all the buttons that Kalthas could have pressed, he used them in the right order at the right times. And Johanna made sure they did the damage.
So yeah, Blind Turtle making a good case for why turtles are pretty fast if they want to be fast. And I had some close contacts with turtles. Let me tell you, these jaws can be quite snappy indeed, as the kill lead is extended to 5 kills. I'm sorry.
I've also heard from reliable sources that sloths can bite quite evilly. So they are not to be joked with as well. So this fight could still
biting so far, but this one is getting quite positional.
In deep here, he should get out. Yeah, 300. But the shrine, they secured the shrine. The red team, Sloth Sanctuary, got this shrine and prevented 5 more damage points to their core. So 29-19 is the current score.
So yeah, they got the trained, but because Turtle team has this extra turret. This is not exactly a win for them, as in the end they still lost net 2 damage. And the lead in core damage is now increased to 10, which is more than half of HP of Sloth Sanctuary Core. I should start getting worried at this moment as the engage comes
Another
out of
Phoenix
Item
used, but this time everyone seems to have escaped. Li Ming has the living bomb, doesn't spread it to anyone. But she still goes down. Good shot by Reina.
And we do have the sappers going in. Each sapper is an extra 1 damage. Unfortunately, they are killed before
They have been killed
executing.
early enough. Still, even though they lost a player here, there was, Sloth Sanctuary did a good job defending this push with the 3 zappers. They didn't take additional core damage here. 3 more zappers are now on their way, though, and 3 more shrines. So potentially, they could lose everything but 1 core point here, if they lose the 3 zappers and if they lose the 3 shrines.
Don't forget that the boss is on the map as well, providing another potential point of contention. But yeah, the
start taking care of the zappers here.
Turtle team are backing off to kill the Malthael in the mid lane. The action is starting to happen as we do have the isolation hit, which will result in a death of an offlaner. We do have the altars spawning. We do have a bit of a squabble on the altar of Sloth Sanctuary. The Haka will start channeling. Foster jumps in.
Can he interrupt? Yes, he does interrupt the Haka.
The altar in the bot lane is taken. Kalthus will move back to take his team's altar, and the action is starting to heat up again. As Peter starts channeling,
no, she can't
interrupted.
Good
the roots come out, not enough follow-up for the roots, and Peter is actually falling quite low. We do have
there's still a mosh pit.
Saving the Johanna. Ooh, that's a good point. The mosh pit can be really detrimental, and
Typhoon Hawk hasn't yet decided to use it. In this fight, at least.
I don't think I've seen him use it in this entire game. The drag comes out on the ETC. Malthael falls quite low and right into the grave. Actually, Falstad gets isolated as we have Flame Strike with Flame Bomb, ensuring that Tiny Owl will die. Of course, she won't because Malthael.
She doesn't, I'm sorry.
Because Malfurion. The Haka jumps
they managed to get 2 kills and only lose Falstad, so it's a 3 on Malfurion dies, so it's sorry. But
this is a very messy fight.
It's really a messy fight, but
and Turtle team concede. Turtle team concedes the altar. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, they didn't want to lose Kalthus here. They
did to the wave right here.
Oh no. Oh no.
You hate to see it. In the end, Sloth Sanctuary are alive with 9 HP against 26 of their opponents.
Yeah.
They should start picking up slack a bit more, starting with taking back this bottom tower.
Yeah, when I made the assessment about the drafts earlier, I said that I favored Li Ming over Kalthus, but I didn't take into account how narrow this map is. I didn't think about how tiny the walkways between the camp here, for example, on the bottom right, or at the top shrines are. And Kalthus can cover entire corridors here just with his Flame Strike and with his Phoenix. So he has a lot of
EDC tries to engage, misses the opportunity to mosh. We do have Kalthus dying before the Ancestral connects. Tiny Owl with the Twilight Dream. Pretty aggressive positioning, but it is hashtag never punished. Or the Malfurion. Another engage comes out on the
good way to come back here.
We do
Ancestral use. Ghast use. Everyone escapes for Turtle Team, but still 5 on 4 for the moment. 25 more seconds until Kalthus comes back. And the Red Team has reclaimed the bottom right building, so it's 4 on 4 in tower shots again.
It's not just a random player to give up numbers advantage. It is the Kalthus who has been putting on a big share of damage and a lot of execution potential for Turtle Team.
Paradox is trying to... He's probably surrendering his life here. No, he's not. Yeah, that was
Zarega is gonna
mosh
die,
pit for the
and
first
we
time
do
that I
have the
see
first
it.
mosh
2
pit.
more kills. And this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem for the Turtle team now, because for the next 50 or 40 seconds, they will not have 3 of their players available. Only the 2 damage dealers are here, and that probably means they're going to lose at least 1 more building.
And both teams continue to defy expectations brought to them by their animalistic names. We have seen some fast plays from the Turtle team. We have seen that the Sloth have now waken up, which is not something that they are supposed to do. But yeah, with
I
that,
think it's I guess it's pretty much realistic to have for it to take maybe 15 minutes for stuff to get up in the morning or something instead of like 1 minute. All
well,
5 players for Sloth Sanctuary now pressuring the bottom tower. That means they're going to have map control here. And even though they have only half as much core HP as their opponents, they might actually be my favorites here to take this home at the
and
moment.
they also have the level 20, which is an important power spike not to be
Yeah. Currently,
dismissed.
they are in the advantage. They are leading this map even though they have 9 HP less on the core.
And that's the important thing about Towers of Doom. Unlike other maps, you can't exactly go through with winning the game without actually going through your opponent's team. You can't go for some cheeky backdoor play or anything. You can only take the boss or take the altar. And both
Phoenix
of
used,
those
but
things
not strong this
are
time.
collected by Sloth Sanctuary, and they have a strong hold on both of those, having taken the boss and capturing the altar at the moment.
And
The
3 more shots have gone through, so there must
the
have been
lead
a
has
camp
closed
somewhere.
to 1. We
Yeah.
did have a camp connect in the
And
bot
there's
lane.
another camp on its way, but I think the tower is going to be taken in time for the camp. No, the Zeppa's more past the almost dead tower. The Haka in trouble here, has to use his stasis. But the Zappas maybe defended this time, right? Yeah.
Is not exactly
Defenders,
worth it.
the defenders, yeah, kill the Zappas in time. And now the tower dies as well, but we are on an even game now, 10-9.
Yeah, it does seem much closer than it did 2 minutes ago.
You could already call that a comeback of some sort. They looked at a real disadvantage for a long time here, but they have made it really, really close now. At this point, it's anyone's guess, anyone's call.
Let's be honest, they are still behind on core HP, and they are.
Watch this team fight now, because Turtle Team does not have any ults left in this team fight composition except the Phoenix, while all ults on the right side on Sloth Sanctuary were available.
We do have the mosh pit for the ETC, which is important because the one time ETC has used the mosh pit, Sloth Sanctuary won the fight and were able to set up for a pretty solid play, which took like more than half of the core HP that Turtle Team had. Let's see how this altar phase will pan out with 2 ultras in the mid lane and bot lane.
And equal buildings, so 4 hits for either team. None of the teams can finish with this altar wave as it stands. One team could drop down to 1 HP, one team could drop down to 2 HP. But it looks like they're trading for the moment. The Haka securing the bottom one for Turtle Team.
And is able to join Turtle Team for this ensuing fight. But the mosh pit comes out. We do have False to die and Zarega by the flank on the Dihaka. We do have Li Ming jumping out on very low HP. Paradox is dying, but not before pressing last strikes on Raynor, which won't unfortunately come through due to a heal.
Li Ming cannot do anything about this altar anymore. Malthel is back already.
Yeah, he does get the talent at level 20, which does allow them to turn fights that they have pretty much lost into a fight that they can take again, albeit very
no
far
healing
behind.
for Li Ming at the moment because the Malfurion is dead. ETC dies again. Dies here. Malthel is probably going to die again, I guess. Yeah. Only Li Ming standing for the moment, and she is in danger as well, and goes down.
And because they took the tower, they get 1 extra shot, which is enough to finish the game there.
Close finish here. The 10-0 scoreline here does not represent the match. It was much closer than that. But yeah, a promising first map. I think both teams could have taken this one home. In the end, the last team fight was nicely executed by Turtle Team, so they deserve this map. But I'm really, really curious how the next one's going to play out.
Turtle team have gotten a nice jump in the lead in the middle of this game, but unfortunately they couldn't stick the landing, and Turtle team were just able to win the next altar phase, which proved to be just enough. Funnily enough, if they have taken it without the fight, if they have taken both altars, they would have only gotten 8 shots in because the tower would have still been standing, which is a pretty ironic twist. So yeah, Turtle Team hits the ground running and showing us that.
But in the middle of the map, they did trip a bit over the sloths lying in their way. So I think this was not. It wasn't a stomp or anything. So I really, really think that Sloth Sanctuary can beat them on the second map and can bring us to a third map.
Yeah,
Sloth Sanctuary have chosen first pick, so the arena that they're going to try to pull their first map in is going to be the choice of their opponents of Turtle Team, and we're currently waiting for what that's going to be.
Turtle Team may have tripped in the middle of the game, but fortunately for them, turtles on their backs do not sleep on bananas, which is the team description that's given on the site. And it is coming true as, yeah, map number 1 has happened, and map number 1 is sounding promising and setting up some nice prospects for the Division 5 team coming into this matchup. In the end, it's just simple math. 5 is more than 4, and that does mean that Division 5 is stronger. But let's see what map the Turtle team will choose. What maps are left in the pool?
Get a quick look at that. At the moment, we still have Alterac Pass left. We have Cursed Hollow, Garden of Terror, Sky Temples, and Tomb of the Spider Queen available, and it's going to be Cursed Hollow out of those.
Oh, Cast Hollow, pretty classic map. I'd say it is the OG map that everyone goes for. After it was kinda replaced by Infernal Shrines, but earlier in the game, before Shrines were introduced, everyone played on Cast Hollow. It was pretty much the only map that everyone went for.
Oh,
Because it was
see
the
the lobby
only
list.
map was solid. So yeah, the lobby is being set up in the moment. Just 1 second to invite the teams. And yeah, as Samu does mention, it is the standard map that you get while you play your first matches versus the AI. It is one of the maps that we have practice tools on, so it is a battleground on some wacky custom matches, which I know that some members of Sloth Sanctuary do enjoy. And now it is gonna be the map number 2 of this matchup. So, big map, lots of potential to split push, lots of potential to play macro game.
Yeah, we could well see quite similar picks coming in. Falstad is valuable here, just as he is on Towers of Doom. Tehaka the same. It's really a map where globals can put in a lot of work.
Although I think in this moment I would actually put the Falstad in an offlane or something around that, because
this time I would here.
Cast Hollow is a pretty big map, and usually it is either a rotation, which is pretty weird because the lanes are far away from each other, unlike other maps where rotations are executed on. And we do get the situation where there are usually 2 offlanes in the early game. So I am
Normally.
interested to see if someone will actually go for the 2 bruiser strategy.
Yeah, the traditional and more conservative strategy here would really be having a 1-3-1 setup of some sorts. Yeah, wait, let's see. how these teams choose. Still waiting for one player, but we should be starting.
Having said that, we do know that there are a lot of camps on the map as well, which does give some more value to the Falstad pick compared to the Dihaka.
Also,
Because bribes.
there's another global with bribes. You know what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
We could
Unfortunately,
see.
Artanis does not have bribes, so I don't know what you're talking about. Please indulge.
Talking about my one at the moment. Talking about Brightwing could be useful here, but maybe on this level of play, not the strongest healer, and that's it. So you could choose something like that to have some more push potential, some more split potential over sacrifice a bit of healing for that. But let's see what the teams choose to do here. I'm sure both teams came prepared for this map. So old and so common. There should be a lot of strats.
The other thing that is important to mention, comparing the threats from the last game, is that Kalthas also gains quite a lot from Cursed Hollow, as the passages around tributes can be quite narrow,
Yeah.
which did show up in full force for Turtle Team in House of Doom.
But kind of the same goes for Li Ming. She has a lot of potential to harass the tribute here. So I guess if we had the same two picks, same 10 heroes as last time, I wouldn't be all too surprised. But on the other hand, there might be a Kethas ban. Maybe Johanna is going to be banned as well. Sloth Sanctuary have chosen first, so I guess they want to get one of the heroes they didn't manage to get in last map. They want to change something about their setup. Otherwise, they could have gone for the map.
But unfortunately for them, picking away ETC was a pretty nice maneuver. And now that does mean that they have to change something about their bans, or just accept that Turtle Team will be playing with the heroes that they are most proficient at. Johanna is gonna be our first ban. Nice adaptation from the game on Towers of Doom, where Johanna has pretty much stopped most of the engages for the Sloth team.
So the Turtle team needs to choose another frontliner here, a different one. Let's see what they replace Johanna with. Garrosh is always a nice choice. And Kethas. So two answer bans here, two target bans. They do not want to play against the same setup like last map.
The things that I want to put some highlight on is the bans from Turtle Team. Sylvanas and Abathur put in some heavy pressure on the macro setups that Sloth Sanctuary might be a bit known as. I'm sorry, I'm just sleeping a lot after yesterday's playoffs, where there was another Sloth team which won, which did not drop a game until finals, unlike these guys
is
on the
back.
right. Falstad is gonna be the first pick, and here comes the ETC alongside the Greymane picking that one away from the Sanctuary.
Both teams have played Greymane before, and both teams have found success in the division stage with Greymane, so that was actually one of the things I noted down when I prepared for this cast. Who is going to have Greymane, or is no one going to have him? No one had him on the first one? No. Oh, Morales. That looks...
Not again.
Oh no.
Not again.
No.
Yes.
no.
So...
No Sylvanas, though. No Sylvanas, so it's going to be a bit harder to pull weird stuff up here.
That does put a lot more insight into Turtle Team's decision to pick Towers of Doom first, because notably you can't do that on Towers of Doom. But yeah, last time I casted just Pirates, the team just inted into a fort until the point where the fort died. They have traded 7 kills for it, and in the end they were just 12% short in the base race. So Yeah, even if you are on a huge back foot, you can still pull ahead in a Choose Pirates game. Zertal is of course banned out, because
Jaina
what
and Anna.
reason? On the core
I
is gonna
like
make
the
it possible.
setup. I like the setup by Turtle Team here. They are going for a really classic one. You have Greymane and Jaina, two very powerful damage healers who are also good at clearing waves. Backed up by an Anna, can give really good damage to Jaina with Nano Boost and ETC. So Mosh Pit setup maybe for Ring of Frost, and then Greymane can just finish them off. Artanis here.
Yeah,
Artanis is really good at. He's a good pickup if you plan to pull something along the lines of Juice Pirates off, because he has good building damage. Gul'dan kind of the same, but I would, looking at the right team, I would prefer a stim droned Artanis over Juice Pirates here.
so yeah, team on the left have drafted a pretty nice teamfight composition, even managing to snatch out Deathwing in the end, which is a pick that most teams either don't play or ban out, because Squishy Lizard is still too weird, too strong, too aggro pulling in the teamfights. Unfortunately, for Turtle Team, Sloth Sanctuary did not come to this game to fight, because flight is their strategy with the Medivac, with the Falstad globals, and with all of the fun that comes from
But
playing
what I find
Choose
interesting
Pirates.
is we have a strong four-man combo on the left side that would consist of Jaina, Greymane, Anna, and ETC. But Deathwing as an offlaner is at least a bit risky, because obviously he doesn't have as much sustain as any other. He has the least sustain of any offlaner, so he needs to really watch his health here if he
Deathwing
wants to
offline
offlane.
would have been risky, but I think the strategy for Sloth Sanctuary is just to rush one lane down and get the fort quickly as soon as possible. One nice advantage for Deathwing versus Juice Pirates is that Deathwing is kind of a global with his trait. He is able to fly up, he is able to plump straight
Also,
down on his own core and try to prevent a base defense, which
okay, so
he
on the left side, GNHF's already exchanged. On the left side, we have Antep on Greymane, we have Heian on Jaina, Ana being played by Anna Crow, and Spada playing ETC. Deathwing is currently not visible, but he's being played by a blind turd.
And on the right, we have Sloth Sanctuary with Peter on Gul'dan, Minty on Falstad, Typhoon Hawk playing Tyrael, Tiny Owl,
Oh no.
gonna
Oh
fly
no.
the Medivac.
We
And
have
the crown jewel of all characters,
a
Artanis,
misread already. We
being
have a
played
misread
by
already.
Paradox. And yes, this is gonna be a base race with Blind Turtle popping straight in the middle of 5 people and trying to interrupt that potential fort take. Unfortunately,
So
most of the fort is already taken down, as is the Tyrell, and Sloth Sanctuary are managing to take down a structure with only one death so far.
yeah,
Their opponents are going with a more straight approach to pushing down a lane, but they are getting there with just enough time given to them. I don't know, this is way slower.
it's gonna be close, and they have to retreat here. They have to retreat at least a bit to get their next wave, and Blizzard used Sleep on Tyrell, so that should be enough time. ETC trying to single out Tyrell here now.
The stun lock on Tyrell can possibly set up this kill. Let's see how Typhoon
There it
Hawk will
is.
be able to execute his new buffs on the passive, where he gets extra 10% off the respawn timer when he hits someone.
So
And
at
I
the
think he
beginning,
hit 2 people there.
at the
So
beginning of the
this-
match, you saw Turtle Team waiting on top, expecting Sloth Sanctuary to push top through the top jungle, but they didn't. But they made the most of their misread and just mirror pushed. So already less than 2 minutes in, each team has lost 1-4. Both teams now going for their bruiser camps for the mid lane. So really
Now
some match
this
play.
is pod racing.
Yeah.
Tyrell has died twice, and Sloth Sanctuary are kind of on a back foot still, because they do lack a wall as opposed to their opponents. But, you know, when you're playing just Pirates, the only thing you care about is that you need to take a fort down and you need to take a keep down. I don't think they even need to be in the same lane to get access to the core.
Yes, they do need to be in the same lane. Don't ask me how I know. Also, there's an interesting, for all of you playing the off-season tournament right now, there's an interesting thing on Hanamura that we tried out that doesn't work anymore. A few months ago on Hanamura, you could, with Juice Pirates, take down a keep at the beginning instead of a 4. Because you can access the keeps through the jungle. And then you would have the keep bonuses. You would have a catapult in each wave at the start of the map. But that doesn't work anymore. We have tried it last week and it doesn't work anymore. You only get 1 catapult each 3 waves now on Hanamura.
Well, that's what you get for cheesing out the game. Artanis goes to take the tribute and everyone acknowledges the Emperor of Heroes of the Storm as he takes this tribute completely unopposed. We do see the Turtle team are preparing some kind of play in the bot lane. Nah, they show up and it's not gonna be as sneaky as they want. No reaction so far from Sloth Sanctuary, apart from the Falsehood lane a bit safer.
Tyrell is there now in the bush, but he knows he can't go in before his team is there. Morales doesn't seem to want to move. Morales solo laning against Deathwing in the mid right now.
And we do have some engage attempts from Turtle team, which unfortunately do fall flat. Fortunately for the left team is the fact that they were pushing alongside a wall this entire time, which does result in a tower getting taken down. In the mid lane we see Deathwing versus Falstad. In the top lane we see Artanis. And yeah, I don't need to look at anything else. Can I just look at the top lane for the rest of this game?
What I found interesting is that Sloth Sanctuary have actually decided to play 1-1-3 for the moment, while Turtle Team relies on Deathwing soaking 2 lanes and has a 4-man combo. So different approaches to playing this map by the teams already.
Yeah, sorry, the tribute spawns in and Turtle Team do have the positioning to take it down pretty much unopposed, although Typhon Hawk tries to slow down the process. Now this Q from Falstad will not connect, and this W from the Gul'dan will be a bit too late. Tributes.
Have we ever seen Artanis in team fights? I don't think so, right? He's doing a camp right now, doing the siege camp on the bottom for his team.
Wait, let's rewind this just a second. You said team fights, right? Have you seen a team fight in this game?
Not
I haven't.
Really. We had a bit of skirmishes around the objectives, at least around the second objective a minute ago. This might be a team fight now. Morales and Tyrell find the blue team doing the boss.
Artan is showing up for the fight as he tries to pressure out Deathwing. The Prison misses and the engage is dropped, as is the boss.
I think I like the strategy. I really like the strategy that Star Sanctuary is doing here. They are really focusing on getting experience really fast. They want to be 10 as soon as they can to pull off their cheese strats. They are going to be ready now. Medivac is picked.
Of course it's gonna be the Medivac, it's gonna be the Mighty Gust, and it's gonna be the Sanctification to provide some help in those.
Yeah, they only have lost Tyrell twice. They have managed not to do...
And here we go, Morales Airlines, flight number 1, strap in, cause this is gonna be a wild ride.
Deathwing,
Deathwing flopped right on top of fight. Morales dies before Sanctification is pressed. The
good gust.
Blind is here right on top of 5 people. What?
Yeah.
Everyone is dead.
This keep is down to 5,000 HP.
See?
But there is going to be a curse for Turtle Team now.
And that's the beauty of Juice Pirates. That's
you have an interesting definition of beauty.
Strong point of Juice Pirates. You don't care. You don't care that you died. You don't care that your opponent has a curse, a boss, a pox on your family. You just go in, you do some damage on the horde, die, respawn, and do
3
the same
seconds.
thing until their core dies.
3 seconds until now. Medivac is back again. So
Now, you see what the problem is? I can tell you what the problem is. Turtle Team are trying to push out.
they
And
are
when you're
far
pushing
away.
out, you're not in the base.
Oh no! Here we go again.
Morales
Easy reaction.
Airlines, flight
Easy
number
reaction, no
2,
jump.
strap in, because this is gonna be a less wild of a ride, because Turtle
No
Team
one's
are
coming.
actually going for the base race, I think.
Yeah, they are base racing now, but the core is open for business now. Deathwing coming back.
Deathwing is down.
But he doesn't get the stuns in this time, and the core 80%, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10% right now, 5, 4, 1, GG! Sloth Sanctuary make it work, and the decision to go base racing against Morales Airlines was the wrong one by Turtle Team.
Thank you for flying with Morales Airlines. We hope you enjoyed your journey. Please
I
leave
love it.
a review on our Discord server. Which, yeah, Heroes Lounge does actually have a Discord server. There are some wild things happening over here. For example, those matches. So yeah, that happened. Game number 3, right?
GG, yeah. GG. Do I want to say GG well played? I loved it. It was really nice. I've rarely seen Juice Pirates work out so beautifully. Even though they didn't have Sylvanas, who I thought was important to pull it off. But I think the thing that made it possible, that made it so powerful, was that even though they had only 3 people in every team fight because they wanted to soak as much XP as they could, they didn't lose the map early. They until level 10 they had to split 1-1-3 while their opponents had only 4, had 4 in the team fights, and they avoided them. They just didn't lose anyone, and yeah, made a good effort to prepare their strats. And Turtle Team didn't find an answer in time, and that's what gave Sloth Sanctuary the equalizer here. 1-1, so one map to take it all. The next map's going to decide who goes to the semis here.
I think the instant tomb pick from Turtle Team. Try to Morales Airlines this map. Hyena is saying as, yeah, Turtle Team are choosing Tomb of the Spider Queen for our game number 3. Conceding the first pick.
All the cheese in the chat. I love it. Keep it going. Yeah, let's see what's still open. We have Tomb of the Spider Queen, Temples, Infernal, Garden of Terror, and Alterac Pass left. So, let's see who chooses. Okay. Turtle Team choose Tomb of the Spider Queen.
So yeah, I have to hand it over to the side of Sloth Sanctuary. This was a pretty well executed game.
Yeah.
Your first victory was in ranked when you picked Artanis, because you can't just pick Artanis and lose. That's not a thing that happens ever. So yeah, that was a victory secured right in draft. Then you got a pretty nice level 1 in. You got the 4 down, which is one of the 2 things you need to run Juice Pirates successfully and start rolling. Which there was a decision from Turtle Team to try to fight fire with fire, which was a mistake in my opinion, as they tried to rush down a fort of their opponents, and they got away with it. But taking a 4 down matters so much more for the Juice Pirates composition than the actual one. It's unreal. And yeah, the last play was a mistake from Turtle Team. I don't think you ever want to go base race versus Juice Pirates when you are down on structures, and they were. The boss was just approaching into the keep.
Yeah. They should have expected that keep to be a tactic.
While the keep of theirs was already on 5,000 HP, you said? That's pretty low. So yeah, I think the decision that you should make here is to base and just go for a fight.
Yeah.
Yes,
Maybe
you will lose on the next attempt that they will fly in, but you will lose later. And all of
also,
this time, the boss will begin value in the bot lane.
yeah, the boss will be getting value, and also the other lanes, and you still have the curse, and at least the four walls, or looking at the top lane where they had already gotten a keep wall would have been lost just basically due to the curse. They wouldn't have really needed to be there to get a map advantage out of the curse. So, we have all players present for map 3, Tomb of Spire Queen. This one decides our first semifinals contenders here for the.
So yeah, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Not a map you can choose pirates on successfully. I mean, you can, but you don't want to.
A good choice indeed by a Turtle Team to not get juice again.
So yeah, let's see how the draft will turn out in this one. I expect a lot of macro focus from the teams that was present in previous games to be just flat out gone. I really want to see what the teams will bring on such a small map, which is.
So, excuse me for a second. There wasn't they're not going to be the first semifinalists. The other quarterfinal has already been decided. The winner of this match, either Sloth Sanctuary or Turtle Team, is going to be facing AFK for Coco in the semis.
Ooh, XL5 actually lost.
Yes,
Shame.
they
I
did.
was rooting
2-0.
for them.
2-0.
Such a. Oh well. That's why you don't root for teams, people. They lose.
So, on the other hand, if Yosh is rooting for your team, be prepared for 2-0s.
So yeah, I mean, I have rooted for the Rantness. I have tried to root for your team, but I don't know enough about your team to root for it. So
That's why we went out in the group stages, right?
so
Okay,
yeah.
we have the draft up on our screens now. Let's get back into the game. Enough banter for the moment. We will have time for that later. Yeah, the
All right,
first one
because
is
we have-
Kel'Thas again.
of course it is Kel'Thas again. If the map is small, so will the passageways, and there are a lot of small passageways on Tomb of the Spider Queen, which Kel'Thas can just block off. And Jaina can block off as well. His strategy is impenetrable. Notably, ETC is not banned out by the side of Sloth Sanctuary, which might indicate that they are gonna go for the cow on the first pick. Now, Johanna banned out from Turtle Team, which is funny to me.
Yeah, last time around, Johanna had been banned by Sloth. Xul is going to be our first contender on the right side for Sloth Sanctuary. A powerful offlaner here who can hold the top lane on this map really well.
And the bot lane, yeah.
Bottom is offlane.
The offlane is the bot lane. It is a mistake that many people do. Just missing the offlanes on different maps.
Yeah, but as soon as the objective is running, this map anyways turns into a weird 1-3-1. Everyone is everywhere looking at the turning points thing.
Yeah. Tomb of the Spider Queen often turns into everyone is everywhere because they are the map is so small, which Zul does benefit from a lot because his trait is able to create pressure basically wherever on the map he stands, because I'm pretty sure everywhere on the map you are in enough range to spawn those skeletons. Gul'dan and Rhaegar chosen for Sloth Sanctuary, while ETC and Greymane are picked up by Turtle Team as we move into the third ban stage.
Yeah.
Garrosh will be the first of those.
Yeah, Rhaegar, of course, one of the go-to healers next to Malv for Sloth Sanctuary. Greymane and ETC, we saw both of those on the last map, also for a Turtle Team. They didn't really shine because,
We didn't
there were
exactly
no
see the
fights.
game last game, let's be honest.
We didn't see the game Turtle Team had planned. That's right.
But yeah, Ana is gonna get banned out. I mean, when in trouble, you just go and banana. They are nutritious, a lot of potassium. Leoric and Stukov chosen by Turtle Team. Stukov is pretty big for me because he just has this synergy with the
ETC
Indu
and the.
and
I
the
mean,
ETC, and with
it
the tight corridors on the
yeah,
map. A
yeah,
lot of silences.
and it gives you it kind of gives you buried alive at 10 instead of 20.
So yeah, Raynor and Sonya now picked up. Sonya, we have talked about this, one of the more picked characters on the side of Sloth Sanctuary with 11 picks this season. Notable 72% win rate, so that's not looking too good for Turtle Team.
So this looks like a team of comfort picks for the Sanctuary, but notably no real main tank on the right side. We have only Xul and Sonya, both of whom are not really counted by the game as tanks. At least they're not intended to be tanks. I guess you could play either of them in kind of a main tank role, but
Also notable, I don't think that either of Zul and Sonya actually has a lot of reach, because when we saw Sloth highlights, the other Sloth teams that won the Rare Cup yesterday play Zul comps, they have ran Zarya alongside, and Zarya does provide that boost of movement speed, which really goes a long way with those characters, because Zul has some pretty amazing lockdown, but he needs to get to you first. And unfortunately for them, Chromie is gonna be out of range and doing a lot of damage in those team fights.
so the chat here expects a Xul main tank play. Let's see if that's gonna happen.
I mean,
I'd love to see it, but
I think that will indeed be a Zul main tank, because Sonya was played by them before in an offlane.
so um, I mean,
And
just by the meme and by the fun picks that these teams have brought to the table so far, I like the fun stuff that Sloth Sanctuary has brought here a bit more than the conservative picks on the left side. Speaking of left
FortyTwo
side,
is picked by Leoric. Do we remake the match, or do we just pause? What is happening?
this gives us a bit of time to look at the picks. We have Anna Crow not healing this time. Last time Anna was played by Anna Crow. This time Lyric is playing. Is being played. We need to remake it because someone has not picked. Has not. Yeah, the train. The train is basically the problem. I just messed. Someone has the train. I'm just trying to find out who it is.
It was the Leoric who has pointed it out. And notably, if you point it out, you can notify the other team, who either do give you permission to run with it, or just let you to remake, which does not guarantee that you will lose, but it takes away this bittersweet taste of the instant loss that you get. I hope that everyone left the previous match, because we need to make the next one.
I have left it.
So, yeah. No lockdown at all except Zul for Sloth Sanctuary. Yeah, that is actually quite correct. The thing that I don't like more for the chances of the right team is the fact that Turtle Team has a lot of AoE.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's hope we don't have any banned skins or equipment this time around. The remake is going to take us a bit of a moment. Sorry.
Fortunately, there were a lot of bug fixes in the later patches, which did clear up the rule set a lot. Unfortunately for us, there are still several um, edge cases which are considered bugs and not specific talents or heroes that are banned. And
Yeah.
Toy Train is considered a bug, so
Yeah, the troll train has, as Tiny Owl has just pointed out, have in the chat. it has weird interactions with some heroes, including Chromie, for example. Some people, some heroes, if they are mounted on the toy train and they are being pulled behind, don't have. It should work. Yeah. It should still do. Some people can still use abilities or have passive abilities applied while they are on train, as I got.
My favorite one is where the drag from Alexstrasza just takes her time to run around on the train instead of actually being useful to the team.
Yeah, so some people can go on the train in alternate forms, including the Worgen form of Greymane, for example. He can have his wolf on the train.
Which was a bug that made this game be a remake instead. So yeah, both teams are ready. Once again, the draft will be the same. We just need to go through the motions, so the launch software will correctly register the bands after we go into and load in the replays on the site. I
So
believe
this is going to be the quickest draft of the day, I guess. We don't need to repeat everything that's going on.
I mean, there might be some other interesting pointers to look at if you want to point them out. I just like the idea that Sloth Sanctuary are banning out all of the AoE in the first phase.
I find it nice that they banned Jaina and Anna, even though they avoided fighting against Jaina and Anna in the last map. They used their Juice Pirates map to gather information on the plans of Turtle Team. So they saw what Turtle Team was up to. They could avoid this entire plan just by playing their cheese strat, and then ban out that plan on the next map, forcing a third prepared strategy from Turtle Team.
That's actually a good point. Also, notably, we do know that Ana is a pretty solid counter to Ancestral Healing, which is the ultimate that Tiny Owl will be running, I presume. Although I would like Bloodlust. Bloodlust would give them some reach, which they desperately want with Zul and Sonya.
And the self healing that Bloodlust gives you is not to be joked with. I mean, Xul, his basic attacks can do a lot of damage. Reyna the same.
I think it was also banned in the later patches. I don't want to say the latest because I don't remember, but I think it was buffed recently.
Yeah, I think it has been buffed at least in the last weeks. That's true. It has gone up from 30 to 40% healing, I think. So 40% lifesteal, basically.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we are gonna load into the game once again.
So let's check the mounts first.
So, what team are you gonna bet on in this one?
I see what Sloth Sanctuary is going for with this. They sacrifice a bit of front line for having a lot of push and a lot of collection potential for the objective. But the problem of not having a really strong peeling front line against something like ETC and Leoric, who are going to be harassing your team all the time, they are going to have a hard time in the team fights here. If they manage to avoid team fights, they can pull this off, but as I know this map, that's going to be hard. So it's going to be an easier match for Turtle Team. Both can win, but Turtle Team has the easier start.
Speaking of Turtle Team, we have Sparta on ETC, Hyan on Stukov, Anteb on Greymane, Blind Turtle, the namesake, playing Chromie, and Uncrow on Leoric.
On the right side, Densho is playing Reyna. He has been swapped in for this third map. Pitor on Gul'dan, Tiny Owl on Rega, Typhoon Hawk on Xul, and Paradox on Sonya. Everyone except Lyric is in the mid right now. Xul going top, so the team's already moving away from this. Of course, as I pointed out, Sloth Sanctuary should have a bit more wave clear here. Maybe they can just out-rotate Turtle. They're already back in mid. They are leading by one.
I don't know about
Wave.
just wave clear, but they do have a lot of wave pressure with
Ooh, the first kill is
passive.
maybe coming in. No. Reina gets out. Low HP, under 500 here, but he makes it out.
Low HP is across the board, but Stukov is going to deal with the low HP problem a bit better with the Rhaegar. We do have a slight overextension from Typhoon Hawk.
Yeah.
A root comes out on ETC,
It's
and
what I
yes.
noticed already. What I noticed also is that Turtle Team has a tendency to have their offlaner come in for team fights. So they like to have. On the first map we saw oh god, Typhoon Hawk, 60 HP here. On the first map we saw Dehaka coming in to make it 5-on-4 a lot of the times. And on this map we see Leoric leaving his lane already in the first team fight to join his team. Unfortunately, no kill coming from that yet. Reyna is doing the bottom camp now. He has snuck in behind Sonya.
Ooh.
Does Leoric smell this? Does he know it?
You know what?
He doesn't seem to.
I don't think Turtle Team will sneak it out. I don't think they will check it, cause I have been cheesed by it, and once you get cheesed by it, you do know what to expect, and you do actually care about how many enemies your team is seeing in the foreman as an offlaner.
And the bottom camp is now a red camp. Reyna has done it.
That has happened to Ankro yet, which is why this camp take will go uncontested.
And Greyman is now helping him defend it. Sonya is alone there. Ooh, Leoric in trouble, but he makes it out with 200 HP. He has to half now. And that gives an advantage to the foreman of Sloth Sanctuary here. And Stukov might be the first one to go down for them. Yes, he is. First blood for Sloth Sanctuary. That's nice. They opened... It's a good strategy. They opened up the map for them by taking the bottom camp. That forced one of the blue players.
And the Rainer is gonna die in the mid lane and turn everything that you have said incorrect.
Yeah, the disengage wasn't as clean as the engage was, yeah.
Pretty solid tactical and macro play from the
Turn
Sloth
in now by Turtle Team.
Sanctuary
Almost.
getting the
My mathematics is not on point yet.
It's okay, it happens. We do have enough gems for Turtle Team to pay in now.
Yeah, but distributed over multiple heroes, so Chromie needs to go in as well after Greymane now.
And they are turning in the top lane.
Stukov's turning in his one, even though it's not really necessary.
Every gem needed, every gem necessary.
That leaves...
Also, it gets it off of you, and Stukov might enjoy some more aggressive positioning with...
But Sloth Sanctuary are prepared for this. They knew they couldn't stop the turn-in anymore, and they decided to just take this camp instead for the mid lane to defend this mid-4. The mid-4 is one of the more important ones on this map, because if you take down your opponent's mid-4, that gives you a bit more control, a bit more view ahead for both turn-in points. It's a matter of vision here, yeah, the mid-4 important on Tomb as well.
So yeah, pretty nice counterpoint to the wave. Unfortunately, it is cleared out by Turtle Team, and they will get the wall down, but they aren't able to set up any push top lane, and
that's true.
Bot lane is also not feeling hurt at all.
Great defense. Yeah, the camp just gave them enough time to comfortably clear the top lane and then rotate in just in time to defend their mid-4. So the camp was more of a delay thing here, not really a pressure thing. And now we see a gank attempt on Leoric here. Does he make it out? So far it looks decent. Yeah, he does it.
Unfortunately for Leoric, he's cut out. Fortunately for Leoric, he's Leoric and is able to just press E and get away. Well done by Uncrow. Nice attempt by Sloth Sanctuary.
And Reyna is sneaking to the bottom camp again. You saw the wide way he took behind the bottom 4. And Leoric didn't see him again.
Despite this,
now there to distract him more.
Despite this pre-forwards rotation from the Rainer.
But there's a gank attempt on Sonya now, and Greymane has to abandon the camp to help her get out. And
The
now
temporal
his
loop is used, as is the silence. Sonya will fall to about a third of her HP, but a third is more than zero, so
and
everyone
this
is
bottom
alive.
camp is now pretty much a gift. So Turtle Team tried to gank Sonya, didn't get Sonya, but they get a free camp for it maybe. Oh no, the camp is they didn't trigger it in time. The
Progrock
turn in is
is
done.
finished, the turn-in will stop, and most importantly, Sloth Sanctuary actually get level 10 of Zabakos, as we do see jump some of the reach that we wanted. We do see skeletal mages.
Sue going aggressive on ETC here.
And
ETC
there is the Bloodlust. Let's go.
fear used and ETC is down. Bloodlust, yeah, the proper choice here. Chromie dead as well. And the first mid for the first map control for Taken is gonna be the blue one. So Sloth Sanctuary are leading this map now.
And it's gonna be in the mid lane as well. So the reason why I have been heavily emphasizing top lane in my last uh in my last Webweaver wave assessment is top lane is the boss lane, and boss is a lot of pressure that you can exert on your opponent's keep later on in the game, which they will take this wave as well. Interesting.
Lyric has just tried to use his Entomb on Sonya, but missed her narrowly. Both offliners have a lot of the gems. 39 for Sonya, 26 for Lyric. So they should
Fortunately
both be
for
careful here.
Sonya, she has her entire team to help her out.
Ooh.
We do have a jump coming out, and we do have Ankaro falling very low.
And he goes down, and no one is close to pick up the gems. These gems are gone. 26 gems lost for Turtle Team.
That's gonna hurt.
They would have needed these gems desperately. They only have 27 left now. They need 55 in total, while Sloth Sanctuary has more than enough to pay again. So we are probably going to see another wave of Web Weavers here that's going to be colored red in the color of Sloth Sanctuary.
My favorite fact about this one is the fact that no one actually took bottom camp in between those two waves.
Even though only one of the mercenaries was standing, yeah.
Yeah, it is still
Temporal
on one.
Loop used, Hyperion used as well. Ults coming out on the bottom. Leoric is setting up a flank here with Entomb probably. And he misses pretty much all of them. Fear and Root on Greymane, and he goes down.
I really don't like how Turtle Team are playing this.
The jump on Lyric. One thing that Sloth Sanctuary have going for them is that the front line of Turtle Team, even though they have a tank, a real tank in quotation marks there in the form of ETC, is quite squishy. So having a Xul that has quite a lot of HP and a Sonya that has quite a lot of HP instead of a real tank is viable here, because they do enough damage to just plow through Lyric and ETC. And all falls now down for Turtle Team.
Yeah, Blind Turtle is able to de-push the Webweaver up top before it does any significant damage to the
bottom
wall.
cap. The bottom cap is taken now by a Sloth Sanctuary.
Finally someone goes for it. So yeah, Sloth Sanctuary being able to get another wave of Webweavers in, and not even that far behind on the gems after killing the enemy solo lane and denying 26 of those.
Yeah. So we're really in a dire situation here for Turtle Team. They are down 3 buildings. They are down an entire level. And the red team starts the boss now. They have the time, they have the map control. The mid camp is an issue that needs to be dealt with by Turtle Team first. They need to defend that. They can't commit 5 players to invade the boss.
I really don't like how Turtle Team are playing these fights. They should be a bit more aggressive. And we do have the mosh pit on 3 people. But unfortunately, Stukov kinda puts them all out of
2
the
for
stun
1
range.
right now. Lyric is trying to contest this boss as long as he can, but he's gonna pay with his life. And 3-1 the trade for Sloth Sanctuary.
And the
Maybe
root
it's gonna
of
be
Blind
worse.
Turtle will be there. We do
4-1.
have a
Is Greymane gonna get out? Yes, he is. So 4-1 trade, and the boss on the top lane. No gems, close to no gems left on the side of Turtle Team. Only 5 on Greymane. He eats a bit of corruption here. He's
Well,
low. He's down to 200 HP. 70. He dies. Oh no.
well,
Oh
that's
no.
why they call it a throw pit. Sometimes you throw. Fortunately for the red team, it is not the team that takes the boss, which is randomly happening not at all. Not a lot. Usually it is the team that attempts the boss that is going to die because they have lost HP from the boss, they have
The
been
keep goes
damaged.
down.
Unfortunately,
First keep down.
the pick from Turtle team was not the best, and their approach to this team fight was also not that.
They try to get Rainer here, but he has been cleansed and can just walk past ETC. The
And they
jump by
jump on
Sonya
three
hits
people, the
3.
Horrify on Leoric is dead, and Stukov is gonna follow up on that. We do see that
Chromie
Sonya is
can't run away
continuing
from
to run
Sonya.
into the backline
Again.
unopposed. We do have the death of a Greymane and a keep down. We do see the Bloodlust as Blind Turtle is gonna get
Yeah.
run over by the Sonya. And the
GG's
keep
call.
is going to fall. GG. Well played.
Well played, yeah, indeed. So, we are going to see Sloth Sanctuary in the semifinals facing off against. I forgot who I told you.
Versus AFK for Coco, I think.
Yes, true, that's true. Versus AFK for Coco. That's gonna be what we can see in the semifinals, first semifinal. Yeah, short recap of this map maybe. And the draft by Sloth Sanctuary looked weird at first glance, but in the end, it worked out. I think it worked out because they just out damaged and out killed pretty much their opponents.
I think Turtle Team might have played this incorrectly. They have a pretty amazing setup with a lot of AoE stuff that they want to press. But their backline is fragile and they want to keep them safe, they want to keep them away. Unfortunately, in this game, they were just run over by the Sonya who jumps in and wrecks everyone out of the game. Which is exactly what happened. And the one attempt that they had with the Mosh was unfortunately cut short by the Stukov ultimate, was cut short by everyone on the left side already dying. So yeah, it was a 3-map
Bloodlust
game.
also in the chat mentioned as really strong at the moment. I mean, having a bloodlusted Sonya in your backline is one of your worst as a winner. You don't like to see it.
Yep.
And to feel it.
So yeah, the jump followed up by a Horrify which did wonders for Sloth Sanctuary in that last fight. And that is enough for Sloth Sanctuary to move over to the semifinals.
Also, we are already setting up for